priest's office building when she'd arrived. Imperiously, she pointed to the empty, unlocked office building 10 yards from the side door of St. Luke's. "Goldie, pay attention. 27.5 minutes. Great. No groom, no historic hymnal house dining room, no food being set up, and no caterer. I was trying to be the bride. Clutching my garment bag, I hopped gingerly across the walkway. Gray flagstones and buckled wooden steps led to the St. Luke's office, a squat century-old building that originally had served as a stagecoach way station between Denver, 40 miles to the east, and points west. Small squares of thick glassed windows peeked out from the thick paneling of vertical, unpeeled pine logs. Now, the office building formed part of a national historic district, along with the buildings from the once famous Aspen Meadow Episcopal Conference Center across the street. Rustic, log-built hymnal house and cavernous brio barn. I glanced at the higgledy-piggledy boarding-up job that was the only indication of the pipes that had exploded in the office during a hard freeze this February. At the old conference center, Brio Barn was also falling apart, but the office emergency and its renovation had taken priority. Our parish priest, Father Olsonand, had told me historic districts ate money the way catering clients gobbled hors d'oeuvre. Once I'd pushed through the door to the office, I couldn't see or hear a soul, much less catch the strains of prelude music, all of which had undergone the required approval of Father, please call me Ted, Olson. The only noise reaching my ears as I hastily wriggled into my new beige silk suit was from a family of raccoons scratching in the attic over the office. I concentrated on a dozen tiny pearl buttons that made me wonder if I should be serving smoked oysters instead of smoked trout. From a purple satin bag looped around the suit's hanger, I carefully removed and then snapped on a stunning double-strand pearl choker on loan from an upcoming Episcopal Church women's fundraiser. Marla Corman, my best friend and matron of honor, had somehow convinced the church women that letting me wear the $2,000 bauble would be great advertising for their upcoming jewelry raffle. When she proffered the necklace, Marla had waved a plump, bejeweled hand and boasted to me about the unique advantages of her fundraiser. Easier than a bake sale, and 1,000 times more profitable. I looked around for a mirror. Where was Marla, anyway? I sighed. There wasn't time to worry about what was out of my control. My mind raced over post-wedding details that would have to be altered if no one could find the keys to Hymnal House. If we had the receiving line and photographs at the church, that would still give my helpers enough time to set up the food in the Hymnal House dining room, once they forced their way in. Poking a pearl-topped pin to secure a brimmed hat to my unruly blonde hair, I imagined parishioners' comments on my bridal appearance. Shirley Temple dressing up as Princess Di. I shuddered and visualized the reception food. All the lovely platters and heavy chafing dishes had been hastily left in the church kitchen when the helpers couldn't get into Hymnal House. Whether the hotel pans would survive the transport across the bumpy ice and gravel of the church parking lot, across the bridge over Cottonwood Creek and Main Street, and up the walkway to the conference center, was questionable. One unexpected bump on the gravel, and the smoked trout with cream cheese could spew everywhere. An inept move could send a layer of the carefully constructed cake on a slide into the frigid creek. And if Father Olson droned on about the loveliness of marriage, about which he knew nothing, the portobello mushrooms would be history. The low door into the slope-ceilinged office building bumped open. "As usual, Father Olson is late," Lucille Boatwright declared, her ice-blue eyes ablaze. "We can't keep you over here any longer. If Olson wants to give you the premarital blessing, he'll have to do it in the sacristy." She looked me up and down. Father Pinckney never would have been late. Never in 15 years was Father Pinckney late for one wedding. Blandly conservative Father Pinckney, now retired and living in his native South Carolina,